Um, Actually, I'm gonna want to look at my. Okay, hello. So, I think the best kind of podcast is the podcast that you create when you're just sitting outside and hanging out with the wind, talking to the wind, talking to yourself, talking to the universe. And yeah, I've been wanting to put a podcast video channel together for some time. I've been in the process of doing that with the tarot readings. That's honestly just a little side quest. It's just something I already do, and I'm getting into the habit of posting more regularly now. Now, I'm hoping to expand that and actually share what's going on and what I've been thinking about. I think a lot of powerful podcasts come from people who are just genuinely speaking from their heart, what's going on in their mind, and just being authentic about it. And so I was journaling today, um, and there was just a lot I wanted to share or put out there in the world. And so this might just be a short little intro video to what my podcasts might look like. Right now they just look like YouTube videos. So I just wanted to talk about love or whatever. Um, it's not whatever, but I was just talking to myself about what love was from the Scorpio perspective because I'm a Scorpio, and I was like, what kind of love do I want? What is it that I like? And it's something that's deep and passionate and it's got layers to it. Um, but it's the kind of love I desire, really, because love is just already there. It exists within me. So I wrote a couple things down, like people are going to try to sell you love. They'll try to steal it from you. They want to give you fake love, or they'll force it on you, or people will just try to define love for you. And I feel like right now I'm explaining what love is to me and what I am trying to create and put out there. And this just might be a video diary to myself, but like love is for you. It's your power. No one's going to take that from you. And love is what makes us divine as human beings. It's our nature. It's our natural state. But manifesting the ideal love, or this idealized version of what love is kind of overrated. At the same time, I think we do experience love, but we also tend to reject the love that's right in front of us too. And that is also a challenge in itself. It's like the love is there, but I keep wanting something better, or, I know there's something bigger out there for me. And it's good to aspire for bigger, better things, but there's nothing bigger or better than love itself. So if it's there, then why not take it? Um, and if it's there, it contributes to the pool of love, and you can bring in greater love, but you can't dismiss the love that's in front of you, or the love that you have already, I guess. um I guess I'm just sharing because I'm attempting to describe what love is, which is what a lot of artists and poets and humans just try to do, is constantly describe this idea of love. So this is my take on it, I guess. Um, and it's just to help you in your own pursuit of love. I'm gonna continue to find love in places that I never knew. Um, and a lot of those places are actually in myself. So I'm constantly still figuring out who I am. And in that process, I'm seeing who I am, or remembering, or some stuff is being revealed, and I'm remembering underneath it all, it's just more love, to give myself to myself. I think love is also truth. So, the more we get into those layers of ourselves, the closer we get to the truth of what our existence is. And again, it's really indescribable what our existence is. Um, it just is. But I think like something like in this day and age, we tend to place love in a person when it's an experience. And maybe some of us are starting to get that. But even if we do know that love is this experience, we still place that onto other people, and like, only I'm supposed to experience love with this ideal person and whatnot. And that's so conditional. And love is like this unconditional force. It doesn't need to be defined by anything. Um, Everything is kind of made up of this like force of love. And these relationships we want, they're usually set on conditions. And I think of the Lover's card in the tarot deck, and it's symbolizes like a choice. It's harmony. It's a choice people make to be together. And first, you got to decide that you want to be with yourself and be okay with that, and be okay with that time you spend alone. That's what I'm working on lately, is just being okay with, okay, I don't actually have any options right now other than to be with myself. I could make other options up, but like really the one choice I need to make right now is to just be present with where I am at. This is where I'm at in my backyard making a podcast YouTube video about love. Um, but yeah, a lot of what I'm learning about in this phase of my life, in this journal share, is like choosing myself. Um, and I feel like I'm still like trying to figure out what it is that I want. And it's, again, not something we can really put our fingers on, like what it is that we want. Um, I talked about this in one of my other videos, but like my soul of gold, based on the poem Between a King and a Princess, is like this idea of longing, like longing for something bigger, better, greater. But like that's not what he meant in the poem. He was just longing to be reunited or in harmony, um, with another person. But the only way he was able to find peace and freedom of his own mind and suffering was to write this. And I feel like that's what I've been experiencing, is like through writing and journaling, is just being able to like find myself again. And it feels really good. Um, that counterpart that we often want or long for, like, is created through like what our self really wants. And sometimes we like get on that journey and we're like, wait, actually, I don't really need another person for this experience that I'm going for. Um, but then it's like this experience, but then it's like you're like, wait, I can have this experience of love, but I can also have this experience, and why would I limit myself to one one kind of love or experience? Um, Now that could be getting into polyamory in some ways, but at the same time, it's like whether you are polyamorous or you're not polyamorous, you can still love experiences, people, like many things. And I think that's where the idea of relationships comes into play, is like it's conditional. It's like set on agreements. Like we are agreeing that we are like going to make this work. But some people are like not in relationships and they are deeply in love. So it's really about what you want. And some people are in relationships and they don't want to be in relationships, but they love the person and they just don't know how to express that and how to move forward, because it's not necessarily like I don't want you in my life anymore. It's just like I'm so used to this relationship and how it's always been. And um, yeah. And it's like good to be curious about different kinds of relationships and friendships and life experiences. So I don't know who I'm even talking to. I'm talking to myself, but my viewers are like everyone. It's a variety. It's like everyone except for my mom, probably. I don't know if my mom watches my YouTube content, but um, I don't know. I used to journal and think about like love being this like I want to be boundlessly in love with somebody. Like I don't want there to be any boundaries. I just want it to be love. But then when you think about it, like what that looks like is that even possible? Because it seems like really hard to make a relationship work, at least in my opinion. But is a relationship equivalent to love? No. A relationship is not equivalent to love. It's just a relationship. It's just a choice that you make with somebody. Um, but right now I'm like choosing to be in relationship to myself, which is kind of scary in some ways, but I'm like trusting it. I'm trusting like that this is what I'm supposed to be doing, and the rest will happen naturally. I don't want anything to be forced either. Like I don't want to rush myself into this process of like I want to be with somebody and it's going to be like XYZ, and cuz they don't really tell you how to like manifest your significant other. They don't. You just have to like it's so abstract, I don't know. They're like write down everything you want in a person and then it'll come true. And I don't know if it always works. At least it hasn't worked for me. And I think the what I actually need to write down is like what am I excited for and what am I fearing and how can I get through that, you know? Um there's so many bugs. Love is like something that's also kind of can be in a mutual experience. That's kind of what some relationships are, come to be is we experience this feeling of love. How do we continue to show each other that we love each other? And some people are like, I'm going to be in a relationship with you, and that's how I show you that I love you and that I care. Um, we can think about our maternal relationships with our moms. Like, our moms are always going to love us, like, and our dads too. But our moms are like, we came from their womb. Um, they're always going to care about us. It's like unconditional. That kind of love that a mother has for their child is nothing, no force could ever come between like those two things. Um, and I think as we begin to grow up and learn from that love that our mother gives us or doesn't give us, it kind of shapes us out into the lovers that we become and or don't want to become, I guess. So we're putting way too much pressure on ourselves to like have we Sarah is putting way too much pressure on herself to be in a relationship and all of that. So I'm glad you guys are here on this journey with me, whether that may be um I don't know whoever you are, you're out here listening to my videos and such. But I just pulled a card and it says blessing in disguise. So being single is a blessing in disguise. Or being in love. I don't know. I think you could be single and like in love. I think I am in love with many things. Every experience offers a gift, whether you perceive it as good or bad, yet sometimes the gift is only revealed with the passing of time. Be patient and have faith that there is a blessing that you cannot see at the present moment. So, yeah, if you don't know, that's okay. That's kind of why you just gotta like sit outside and make like a podcast about what you want. And is it a podcast or is it a video diary? I think this is going to be a video diary. I'm not ready for the podcast scene yet, but I think that needs to be a little bit more structured. I don't know. The message I'm getting, also with the sun being back out, because it was raining for several days, like a whole week, really. And the sun is finally back out. And I was doing tarot with myself, and the sun came back out, and the Lover's card. Then the Nine of Pentacles, which is like finding pleasure in everyday life and finding enjoyment in everyday life. And that's what it is. Like, I don't know, it's not easy. For some people, it might just be really easy to be in a relationship. I think it just depends on like what your journey has been like. Some people are very mature and they can do it. Some people get into relationships and they're not ready and then they don't know how to peel away. But it's really important that we like take care of ourselves, and as much as it's nice to be taken care of by another person, and I think that's okay to want. Like it is okay to want, but you have to know exactly what that is, because sometimes people are overstepping, and I can even maybe speak from my own experience. I'm overstepping and trying to like project too much onto a person, and they're not ready for what I'm trying to give them. And I'm not really giving them what they need. Like what they need is to figure it out themselves. And I work with students, and I never want to just tell them the answer. I show them how I do it, but I'm also like, you mentally need to figure out how to do it yourself. You have to come up with your own method, and that's what we're doing, is coming up with our own methods of love, as if it's some sort of scientific or mathematical equation. But I mean, in science, we always talk about energy and matter, and it's so abstract, and it's like, no, I'm not going to hate on science, but it's sometimes just like, what's the point of solving this equation for energy when I can just tell the energy of this human being is that they're mad at me? That's more of a social thing, I guess, a social skill. I do think my soul is opening up. And these bugs, too, are just attracted to me. They're so attracted. Yeah, but what is the next level? That's the question I'm going to pose. What is the next level for you? What does it mean to take it to the next level? And can you see what that next level is? Can you see yourself there on that next level? Is somebody with you on that next level? Because we're going to take a step up here in this video. We're all taking a step up. I am, by doing this. But how are you going to step up? How are you going to find clarity? How are you going to honor those blessings, those like serendipitous moments? Are you going to write them down, or are you going to maybe it's just recognizing like, wow, this is a beautiful moment, and I forgot how life is full of these beautiful moments. So, and sometimes the beautiful moments are really low key when you're sad, and then you realize like, at least I just know how I feel, and I've recognized that I want to like change, and I want something. I want the circumstances to change, and I'm motivated for things to be better, but not better as in the love in front of me isn't good enough. It's just better as in I want to be able to not just I want to be able to produce more love and give that out to people, and um, help others find it is what find whatever it is that they're looking for. So every experience offers a gift. And then I also pulled another one earlier, but it was a leap of faith. So be guided by your instincts. Okay, train. Be brave and leap with faith and believe in yourself. You have so much to offer. These are the messages that the universe wants you to hear today. Repeat this mantra: I trust my intuition, I have faith in the universe, and there is infinite potential in each moment.